Hurts. Again, quarterback draw. Up the middle he goes. Across the 20, turns the corner. Across the 15. He picks it up with a 13-yard run.
Excellent play call situation. Again, they did this earlier in the game where they just spread this defense, and Jalen's able to get behind those blocks on the quarterback keeper or the draw play and pick up a first down.
You don't hear any cries for them to mention, do you? 6:35 to play in the third quarter.
Not from anyone with good sense.
And not from anyone today, that's for sure. Not after yesterday. What a job by the Eagles and Jalen Hurts yesterday. A big win, 31-0 over the Las Vegas Raiders. One of the two voices I heard on that call, the voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese, with us right now. Merrill, how you doing?
Merrill.
I'm well. I'll tell you, I think the big thing is the way they dominated the Raiders. The Raiders are a bad team, but the Eagles didn't just beat them. The Eagles played almost a perfect game.
They really did, Merrill. It was one of the most dominant games I can remember them playing, at least in a while. I mean, on both sides of the football. Merrill, let's start with the quarterback. And there was a lot of talk last week about his play. I mean, it had been 5 straight games where Jalen did not play great. Obviously, crescendoed with the Monday night game, one of the worst of his career. But yesterday, Merrill, the bounce back. I thought he was on point in every way, and especially with his legs. I thought it was one of his better running games.
Joe, you may not agree with me, and I know it was called a 4-interception game Monday night in Los Angeles. But it was not as bad as people make it out to be if you look at the fact that he opened the game with a deep pass that was about 50 yards in the air for A.J. Brown, and he just didn't stretch out for it. Late in the game, he throws a great pass into the corner of the end zone. And there was a great defensive play, but A.J. Brown had his hands on that ball too. Then there was another pass that went off A.J.'s hands for an interception that was not Hurts' fault. Then there was another pass for Devontae Smith in that game, and just before the pass arrived, he slipped, it was pushed over, and it went right where it would have a perfect pass, went to the defender. So that's another interception. I thought the judgment at the end, throwing the pass into the crowd, but it was only first down on in the overtime, that was a mistake. But I think when you keep saying 4 interceptions, that's not a clear explanation of what actually happened that night. Again, it wasn't a good game, but to keep saying it was the worst game in his career, I don't really think it was as horrible as everyone made it out to be.
Perhaps. It was one of the worst. I mean, maybe not the worst, one of the worst. I also, Merrill, you're right. Things go differently, right? AJ catches one, doesn't go off his hands. The stat line looks totally different. But I think we'd agree on this, Merrill. He was coming off a month where it wasn't the level of Jalen Hurts that we had come to expect, right? Go back to the Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears, into the Chargers.
But you know what?
It wasn't his best.
But you know what, Joe? And listen, I'm just being honest with you. You're right. They were not productive offensive games against either of those teams. But he outplayed Jordan Love in Green Bay, and he outplayed Jalen Hurts with Detroit.
Well, they won those games, right? So they
won those games.
Yeah, they got those wins, and then they lost 3 straight. But yesterday, Merrill, I thought he was on point from the start. Accuracy, making the plays, and I thought also with his legs. Like I think the call we brought you in with there, that was when it was the 3rd and 12, and he ran for the 13. I thought he played a really good game yesterday and was able to do it in basically 3 quarters.
I thought he did too, and I thought he was close to, as perfect as you could be in a game like that. He did everything he had to do, but people say run more. I think he's running the right amount. I don't want to see him get too much into the running game because you see what happens. As great as Josh Allen is, and I think he's a great quarterback in Buffalo, he's an accident waiting to happen. And then after all the running he's done, after all the years, to see what happened yesterday to Patrick Mahomes, that happens. Quarterbacks who run enough are eventually out of the lineup. They're done for the season. And I think that Josh Allen has been very, very lucky to this point that he hasn't been one of them. Look how many games every year that Lamar Jackson misses. I don't want to see Jalen Hurts become a, quote, running quarterback.
Yeah, well, it's that fine line, and fortunately, it seems like Jalen was okay because he got hobbled at the end of the third quarter yesterday. They start the fourth quarter, he throws a touchdown, and then he's out of the game. So a good game by him and the offense. And Merrill, the defense yesterday, completely dominant. Some of the numbers are almost, you'd think they're fake when you look at them. 75 yards holding the Raiders to a shutout. Remarkable defense yesterday.
You know, I'm going to write a commentary on this later. The Philadelphia Sports Writers Association, they have that big banquet in the winter every year.
Yep.
And they have a famous award that goes to the most courageous athlete every year. That's almost a national award. I'm going to nominate Kenny Pickett as most courageous for standing behind the Raiders' offensive line.
Well, he is pretty. Merrill, I'm not sure how many other quarterbacks would be standing. Geno Smith stood for 11 weeks. Now he's out, and I'm not sure how much longer Pickett's going to last. That team is rough to watch. They have a couple good players with Bowers and Crosby, but that's a tough football team to watch. They stink.
You're right, number one. And number two, even Bowers, who is one of the great young tight ends in football, and Crosby, who is a force, neither of them stood out yesterday.
They didn't. Crosby had the one sack in the red zone when we got a field goal, but that was it. He didn't do much either.
Quiet.
Yeah, they did a good job. Merrill, let's look ahead here. So the Eagles get off the losing streak. They get their win yesterday. They're 9-5, and now they go to Washington on Saturday evening, early evening, 5 o'clock kickoff. And Merrill, with the Cowboys' loss last night, all is back to where we thought it would be, about a month ago, because if the Eagles win this game Saturday, they are officially NFC's champions.
I know, and on paper they should. But I want to just issue a little warning, and that is that Marcus Mariota is really playing well right now.
That's what they said on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't believe it, but
yeah.
I guess if Merrill says it, it's got to be somewhat true.
No, it is true. I saw the entire game last week when he played well against the Broncos. He is playing. He's probably more effective right now than Jaden Daniels has been this season.
Well, you're probably right about that. Daniel's been in and out, and yesterday they did win a game against the Giants, so we shall see. But it is set up for the Eagles. They win on Saturday, and then Merrill,
absolutely set up.
The best part is they would then have 2 weeks to handle it the way they want to, right? To play it out and try for the highest seed possible, and we've seen the Eagles do this, Merrill, in recent years, especially that last week. They could almost create a bye week for themselves if they so choose, based on everything, if they take care of business and clinch this division early.
Right. So even if they clinch the division early, I still think they have to watch out, and there will be seedings to play for.
Yep.
And those seedings can be pretty important.
Well, they can. Merrill, fun day yesterday. We needed one of those. We can exhale, and we got to do it early in that game with a victory. Merrill, have a great week, and we will talk to you Saturday before a game down in Landover.
Absolutely, Joe. And Hugh, have a great day.
You as well.
There he goes. The voice of the Eagles, Merrill Reese. Yes, Eagles Commanders Saturday. How about a Saturday 5 o'clock start? We don't get many of those.
Oh, yeah. We got, what, 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock we start, a little pregame show. But then we're off Sunday. So.
On Saturday?
On a Saturday,
Now, that's a game you get banged up for.
Yeah, that sounds like a banged up game.
You're right, yeah, because, it's Saturday night. Yeah, no one's working the next day.